No rhyme or reason for this, frankly. This is a company that has $3.7 billion worth of orders from the government in the last 5 years. It's a plant that is absolutely loaded with product. All the things are heading in the right direction, except they show up with a bunch of concessions. They're looking to take away post-retirement benefits from almost 500 of our members. They want all new starts to come in with a defined contribution plan.
A Bombardier spokesperson says they're disappointed by the strike action. Stephanie Ash says the company believes it's made a strong offer and urges workers to take a harder look at it.
The James Street Swing Bridge remained closed to vehicular traffic in July despite the latest efforts to resolve the issues.
The meeting between the City of Thunder Bay, CN Rail, and the Fort William First Nation was a short one, and what was discussed is not being made public.
No, I mean, we've agreed with the City and Fort Williams First Nations to keep the terms of the proposition confidential, and we'll respect that.
What is known is CN Rail came to the table with a short-term solution to reopen the swing bridge to vehicular traffic. But after studying the plan, the City and Fort William First Nation brought forward their own ideas.
It's not necessarily that the option wasn't a good one, it's just there were a few key items that were identified that we wanted them to reconsider, and that I think the city and both City and Fort William First Nation were a little bit more wanting to review it further.
The City and Fort William want to see the swing bridge reopened as soon as possible, something CN says it's committed to as well.
I mean, that's the purpose, right? The purpose would be to reopen it to vehicular traffic in the shortest possible term. I mean, there's work to be done, assuming that we can get an agreement on what needs to be done. But, assuming that we do, and we do in the short term, we'll be working very hard to reopen it as soon as possible.
But as the end of the year arrives, there's still no deal in place to reopen the swing bridge. When we come back, the month of August brought some heated moments on the Bombardier picket line and more tragic homicides, which shook the city to the core. Stay with us.
Oh, how is it? Shh. Everyone, this could be it. Really? Thank you so much. We got the house.
Buying or selling? Do so with Baloo's Realty. Great service, outstanding results. Call today for your hassle-free market evaluation. Go with Baloo's Realty. It'll be the easiest move you'll ever make.
Let's give ourselves an upgrade. Not that kind. This kind. So let's go here for more of these. Let's discover some cool stuff. Like that, and that. Let's save and feel like this. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Get a GE self-cleaning convection range, only $848.
When traveling outside of Ontario, your government health care plan doesn't travel with you. Travel insurance can help you stay protected during a medical emergency. Jones & Associates now offers online travel insurance in 3 quick and easy steps. Step 1, log on to jonesins.com. Step 2, fill out the form. And Step 3, receive an instantly emailed policy. It doesn't get any easier. Jones & Associates Insurance. We're with you, even when you're on vacation.
If a pre-owned vehicle is what you're looking for, Performance Kia has you covered. Cars, trucks, SUVs, we have them all. The staff at Performance Kia is with you every step of the way to ensure your vehicle purchase is the right one for you. Ask about our 555 program.
Hi, I'm Kevin French. If we don't have what you're looking for, we'll get it for you. Any make, any model. One of the best selections of pre-owned vehicles in northwestern Ontario. Come to Performance Kia today.
Hi, I'm Bruno. We want to be your new car dealer.
Here at Kelly's Nutrition, we offer foods that have more to them than meets the eye. These foods are filled with all-natural proteins, antioxidants, and vitamins that'll help you live a healthier life. Superfoods like chia seeds are an excellent source of energy and will leave you with a satisfied feeling after consumption. Another great superfood available at Kelly's is goji berries. Goji are filled with a powerful antioxidant. So next time you're looking for a healthy energy kick, an all-natural snack, or have any healthy alternative questions, come visit us at Kelly's Nutrition.
Good friends, great times. Boston Pizza has something for everyone. Pasta Tuesdays? We're cooking up your favorite pastas. Pizza Sundays? Our best piping hot pizzas, over 20 to choose from. Custom lunch combos, weekdays from 11 till 3. Before the show, after the game, the BP Sports Bar has over 100 delicious menu items. Open late every night with games on the big screen. Boston Pizza, here to make you happy.
Hey, baby, won't you take a chance? Let's dance.
Your baby will feel like dancing when they wake up dry in Pampers Baby Dry. While ordinary diapers only have 2 layers, Baby Dry has 3 absorbent layers, so it stays up to 3 times drier for up to 12 hours of protection and good mornings. Wishing you love, sleep, and play. Pampers. And for outstanding leak protection while potty training, try Pampers Easy Ups.
Welcome back. The Bombardier strike dragged on through the month of August. The 900 employees represented by Unifor continued to stand their ground. There were some tense moments when the company attempted to ship out a completed rail car on day 26.
We're upset that the company would be thinking about doing that. We've had meetings with the company since then.
However, what's happened here today is that the protocol agreement does allow for shipping through the Montreal Street entrance and exit to the plant.
But the attempt was made at the Niebing Avenue gate, which is not allowed under the protocol agreement. Ash said they gave Unifor notice on Tuesday that they wanted to ship a car out, but given that they did not use the appropriate gate, it was stopped. So now they have to try through the main entrance, which is too narrow with all of the cars parked on the road. Pasqualino says now the company has said it will not try and ship anything on the weekend.
And we're going to just continue talks on finding a safe way of removing the cars from the plant.
He says, however, if they do try, they will be guarding the gates as always.
On August 11th, the city was shocked by the murder of an 8-year-old girl at a Donald Street residence. The 38-year-old suspect, the mother's former boyfriend, was later pronounced dead after police surrounded a vehicle on Wharton Road later that morning. The victim was identified as Brandy Wingert. Police Chief J.P. Levesque held a news conference and said it's a complicated and sensitive case because it involves a child. He spoke about the sequence of events.
We believe that the attack on the mother occurred. She gets out of the apartment to call 911, and it's after that the attack on Brandy occurs. I recognize people want to know what happened. We're talking about a beautiful 8-year-old girl that had her life taken away from her. How she died, I don't think is all that relevant when we're not looking at a court case.
The tragedy sparked a public vigil to remember Brandy and to take a stand together to stop the violence in the city.
Organizer Rebecca Zajac says the response from the public has been overwhelming.
This just proves to me, in a way, that, you know, Thunder Bay is a great, great city. And if we all get together as one, we can do anything, including stopping the violence. We just have to get together and say, hey, it's got to stop.
Zajac says the latest death of 8-year-old Brandy Marie Wingert hit close to home because she has a daughter of her own. She says it's up to the community to stop the violent wave that has swept across the city.
When I thought about what happened, it was just, you know, it was overwhelming, and I was just 6th death in Thunder Bay in the last 8 months. It stops your heart, and it makes you sad, and it makes you angry, and it makes you feel like, you know, something's got to be done.
Ilya Gaspar decided to show support by coming to the walk with her family. She says she's not surprised to see so many people come to march in the vigil.
I expected that, and I expect maybe more will show up because it is an innocent child. We're not just like here for her, we're here for everybody, but when, you know, it's sad to hear. So we need to step up to the plate, not just our mayor, but as a community. We have to say this is enough.
On August 24th, the body of 64-year-old Leslie Rubin Perot was found inside a home on Macker Avenue. A man and a woman, both age 44, were arrested and charged in connection with the homicide.
The 2 individuals who were said to be the residents of the Macker Avenue home were taken into custody, and further investigation led to the charges of second-degree murder against the male and female who are in custody now.
In September, the city experienced yet another homicide, this time on a walking trail near Chapels Park.
The victim was identified as 32-year-old William Darrell Wapoos of Thunder Bay. Police said it was quite clear upon the officers' arrival at the scene that foul play was involved, but the investigators were not releasing the cause of death.
Every homicide, typically the cause of death is withheld, and that's very important information to investigators. The key here is that they have to be able to filter information as it comes in. So being able to hold on to certain specific information like that helps them differentiate between what is false and what is true.
The city's 8th homicide became a mayoral election issue when one of the candidates pledged to host a town hall meeting to address the city's crime issues.
Mayoral candidate and councillor Ken Boshkoff has released a letter to the public and to the media saying that if elected, he would hold a town hall meeting within a week to discuss and try and find a solution to the high number of homicides the city has seen this year. But Mayor Keith Hobbs does not see this as a step forward.
You know, I see this nothing more than political grandstanding, and it's shameless that he would capitalize on homicides and victims of homicides. It just disgusts me.
Boshkoff maintains his objectives and motives are true, and he wants to make the city a better place.
There are people who want to support the police and support the frontline workers, that people who talk to me say, what can I do to help?
After 60 long days on the picket line, workers at the Bombardier plant voted to accept the company's latest offer and go back to work.
It was strangely quiet as the union members who have spent the last 2 months on the picket line filed into the community auditorium to hear the latest offer and vote. Unifor President Dominic Pasqualino says there was a lot of Q&A before the members were ready to vote, and they wanted to fully understand the new agreement.
I think people are glad that it's come to a decision that they're going to be making, and hopefully everybody votes in a way that works out well for them.
In the end, a whopping 85% of the workers voted in favor of the new contract. The union says the contract maintains the defined benefit pension plan for the workers, which was one of the main points of contention in the strike. However, under the new plan, all new workers after the ratification will have 25 cents an hour deducted bi-weekly as part of the contribution to the defined benefit plan. Bombardier spokesperson Stephanie Ash says they're pleased with the final outcome.
Bombardier Transportation is delighted with today's results. This means that our employees will be coming back to work as soon as possible, and it's the best possible outcome for everyone.
With the municipal election just a month away, word leaked out that Costco was looking to set up one of its giant retail outlets in the city. Company officials confirmed their interest, and Mayor Keith Hobbs was pleased with the news.
I mean, it's no secret that I've been fighting for 2 years to get a Costco here, and they want to be here. They're going to come here. I can tell you that much. And I'm not going to talk about timetables or land or anything like that. Those are areas that are very sensitive right now.
The next day came word that Cliffs Natural Resources is looking to sell its mineral deposits in the Ring of Fire. Junior mining firm KWG Resources confirmed it's hoping to buy them.
We had a discussion with Cliffs many weeks ago, and that's when they indicated to us that they would be a seller of their chromite assets in the Ring of Fire. And we responded by saying that we could be a buyer. And since then, KWG has been organizing the financing to be able to complete this transaction.
In October, the city was rocked by yet another homicide, this time on the front steps of the Silver City Movie Theater. A 19-year-old man was charged with the murder. The 20-year-old victim was a student at Dennis Franklin Cromartie High School.
The murder happened just before 10:30 Friday night when Daniel Levac got into an altercation with another young man. He was stabbed and later succumbed to his injuries.
And I know that night at Friday at Silver City, he was trying to defend one of our female students.
Kakagamic says this loss hits hard with the students and staff here at the DFC since they are such a tight community, like a family. Meanwhile, students from Sajigo Lake have already been sent home.
And we felt that it was important for them to be with their immediate family during this time because this loss is it was so sudden, and it was very tragic the way it happened in the open.
2 weeks later, the city saw its 10th murder of the year. 51-year-old Renee Sortolova was found dead in a residence on North Mark Street.
4 days after making the discovery of Renee Sortolovo's body in his Southside apartment, police have 2 suspects in custody. The 51-year-old's family had become concerned for Sortolovo and reached out to police to check on his well-being. A 17-year-old female and 22-year-old male have now been arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Police spokesperson Chris Adams says the 2 accused are known to each other, and one of the accused knew the victim.
Well, certainly there's a number of details that are being held on to, and that's because this matter will now be before the courts. We can say, however, that our investigators were able to establish that robbery was the motive.
The month of October saw the election of a new city council, and in the race for mayor, Keith Hobbs won a second term by a comfortable margin.
The results were late in coming, but for incumbent Keith Hobbs, they represented a validation of the work done by both him and council after a difficult campaign.
It was tough. That was a really tough thing to go through. But, you know, I think the fact that all the incumbents are back except for one, and, you know, I want to pass on my congratulations to Mark Bentz. He's been very valuable to us, especially at budget time. But I think it's an endorsement. I think it's a message that we've done a good job in the last 4 years.
Over at Ken Boschkoff's headquarters, the former two-term mayor felt the sting of defeat. Surrounded by supporters, he said he did not regret his run and was glad the people of Thunder Bay had their fair say.
I preferred to be the person who is asking the tough questions and laying out the issues that have to be addressed. When the votes are split, people make up their minds. I thank those people who, in quite substantial numbers, endorsed my campaign.
In the city council races, 10 of the incumbents were re-elected, while 2 new faces won a seat at City Hall.
The only upset of the election came in Northwood, where Shelby Chung defeated longtime ward councillor Mark Bentz, with more than 500 votes separating the two. Chung says she's humbled to represent the ward on council and aims to bring a fresh perspective to the table.
Now people want to start closing that gap. They want to close the gender gap. They want to close the age gap on council. And I'm the candidate. I'm the person who stepped forward and said, yes, I'll do it, and here I am.
I think it's clear that change was wanted in the ward, and I wish my successor all the best in her duties over the next 4 years. I wish the new council coming in all the best. They have some big issues to tackle.
Meanwhile, 4 incumbent at-large candidates will be back for another term. Veteran councillor Frank Puglia, after a 4-year absence, secured the last available seat vacated by mayoral candidate Ken Boschkoff.
The fallout from the election continued in November when the mayor admitted he was bullied into closing his social media accounts. We'll have that story and more when the TBT News Year in Review continues right after the short break.
Oh, how is it? Shh. Everyone. This could be it. Really? Thank you so much. We got the house.
Buying or selling? Do so with Baloo's Realty. Great service, outstanding results. Call today for your hassle-free market evaluation. Go with Baloo's Realty. It'll be the easiest move you'll ever make.
There are moments frozen in time that shape the future. Such a moment took place 150 years ago when the vision for Canada, united from coast to coast to coast, was born. If the Fathers of Confederation could see the incredible country they created, they would be filled with pride, looking at a country so strong, proud, and free. Join us as we celebrate the Fathers of Confederation, a message from the Government of Canada.
Through the seasons, your comfort should never change. And with a Carrier heating and cooling system from Prestige Home Comfort, it never will. Carrier is an industry leader in heating and cooling. Carrier systems are easy to use and deliver peace of mind. Turn to the experts. Call Carl at Prestige Home Comfort to find out how you can improve your home's efficiency with a Carrier heating and cooling system today.
You don't get much for $1.69. At McDonald's, you do. Get a quality burger made with 100% Canadian raised beef or chicken. Value picks. Get a lot for a little.
My daughter is studying to be a dentist, and she gave me advice. She said, Dad, go pro with Crest Pro Health.
For teeth that are up to 4 times cleaner, try these products together.
Crest Pro Health really brought my mouth to the next level.
Go pro with Crest Pro Health.
Thanks, everybody. See you next year.
Mike, where are you going? We've got more Boxing Week deals.
But Boxing Week's done, isn't it?
No, the Brick has held it over.
Fantastic. You haven't missed it. The Bricks Boxing Week blowout continues. Get the 60-inch Sony Smart LED TV only $9.98. This 55-inch Samsung Current 4K TV is only $14.98. Get this Frigidaire stainless steel fridge, just $6.67. Or this Samsung laundry team, only $15.98. The Bricks Boxing Week blowout continues.
This program was brought to you by Baloo's Realty. Baloo's Realty, the easiest move you'll ever make.
Welcome back to TBT News Year in Review. In early November, Mayor Keith Hobbs shut down his social media accounts after receiving what he calls hateful messages and possibly violent threats over Facebook and Twitter.
Hobbs had been encouraging citizens to reach out to him through social media, but the mayor disabled his accounts over what he called aggressive and violent messages directed at himself and his family.
It just got so bad it got personal. I had my children were attacked, my fiance was attacked, and you know there comes a point where you can only put up with so much, and I don't want to engage in that kind of idiocy. You know, when you start attacking people's family, you know, making threats towards them, calling people names that I don't want to repeat publicly, and you're implying that harm could come to your kids. You know, I don't need that.
The members of the Gull Bay First Nation are in line for a large payout after the band reached a $12.5 million settlement with OPG over flooding of their community dating back nearly a century.
Well, I'm hoping to get it very soon. There is a process that we have to follow. There is up to 30 days before the payment comes in, and then there's the question of disbursements to members, whether how we're going to do that. So we're hopefully get it to everybody, you know, within a month or a month and a half.
Maybe in time for Christmas.
Oh, it'll be in time for Christmas. So it'll be a nice little Christmas bonus for all the members.
The gridlock at Thunder Bay Regional continued in November, and the issue was raised at Queen's Park by the leader of the NDP.
Does the Premier think it's acceptable to leave Thunder Bay Hospital stuck in gridlock?
Andrea Horvath put the Wynne government on the spot to explain what it's doing to alleviate the overcapacity issues at Thunder Bay Regional.
We're making important progress, and the hospital itself acknowledges and acknowledged in that meeting that we are making progress with dealing with the challenges that they are facing. And in fact, it was not that long ago this year, Mr. Speaker, that we announced an additional $14 million specifically to deal with the challenges faced by Thunder Bay Regional Hospital.
Well, Speaker, according to Thunder Bay Regional Hospital, it will take years for the gridlock problem to be fixed with the current level of funding that they're receiving from this Liberal government. The hospital says it is, quote, experiencing an erosion of its ability to meet its acute care services mandate. That's a disgrace, Speaker.
The 27 cottage leaseholders at Sandy Beach near Chippewa Park were told to pack up and leave by the city in late November. The news came in a closed-door meeting at the Da Vinci Center.
I think that they could have done things a little bit more fair, maybe sat down with us and talked about options or alternatives, and that just wasn't part of the plan at all. The plan is they just wanted to make a decision and tell us what the decision was.
Leaseholders were told the city would be making buyout offers in the coming weeks. Lessees who accept the city's offer within 30 days and vacate within 120 would be given an early possession incentive. The city's offers will be made using past appraisals that are on file, adjusted for time. However, buildings or improvements completed after 1974 will not be compensated for. Lessees may remain on the property for up to 2 years, with final date for occupancy set for December 31st, 2016.
City's position is they want to remove us. They will give us 2 years grace and then buy us out.
Many leaseholders wanted to know why the city wants the Sandy Beach land back.
The reality of it is you know, we have a master plan coming up for Chippewa. When you combine that with the fact that the property, you know, has to meet certain environmental standards, and you know, that's something that we have to acknowledge, and we shared with them.
In early December, city drivers saw something they hadn't seen in more than 4 years. Gasoline prices at less than $1 per liter.
The price you're seeing isn't a typo.
I'm pretty excited about that.
For the first time since 2010, the price of gas has dropped to below $1 a liter. Here at K&A Gas Bar just outside of Thunder Bay, the price was sitting at 98.5 cents a liter.
They're amazed. They're taking pictures of the pumps. They're taking their receipts, and we're just saying Merry Christmas.
The price first came down on Wednesday night, but the word spread quickly. By the noon hour, a small lineup had even started, despite the 18 pumps available. Other gas bars around Fort William First Nation were also selling gas for under $1. Motorist Tom Kiesik says it's a welcome change.
It feels good to have a little break at the pump for a change, but to be honest, I never really paid much attention to the price because if you want to drive, you got to pay anyways. And my opinion on the price, they're going to just increase it later, so we'll pay later, but it's a nice break during the holiday.
Also in early December, the new city council was sworn in.
Packed chambers and a sense of occasion as Thunder Bay inaugurated its 46th city council into office Monday night. After prayers, songs, and welcomes from local dignitaries and officials, the new council took their oaths of office. It was familiar for Councillor Frank Puglia. A former two-term councillor, Puglia returns as a councillor at large.
I'm excited about the next 4 years. Yes, we do have some challenges. We heard from the citizens of Thunder Bay, and I think this council, the mayor, has already laid out a platform for the next 4 years, and I think this council is ready, willing, and able to tackle the tough issues.
And there's no doubt that council will have their work cut out for them next year. And what else will 2015 bring? Perhaps the start of the new event center, the reopening of the swing bridge, or maybe even some real progress in the Ring of Fire. You'll have to tune in to find out. Thank you for joining us for this recap of 2014's top stories. I'm Gabrielle Marchand, wishing you all the best in 2015.
This Monterey Ranch crispy chicken, tender chicken, creamy ranch.
It's just $1.99. $1.99? Hot tip. I like it.
Okay, people, we gotta move this chicken before the closing bell. Who else is in? It's a big day for the lunch sector.
Wendy's Monterey Ranch Crispy Chicken, just $1.99. Our cool creamy ranch sauce meets crispy seasoned chicken. At Wendy's, where saving doesn't mean settling.
Now that's